Will the EU's new migration reform lead to hostile practices in Europe? This week, the European Parliament Civil Liberties Committee approved a controversial reform to boost returns of irregular migrants. The European Commission says it aims to make deportations across the EU faster and more effective. Among the measures, the creation of return hubs, deportation centers located outside the European Union. And migrants could be detained there for up to 2 years while waiting to be returned. But critics warn the proposal could be overly aggressive. In early February, around 70 NGOs raised another concern. They said the new rules could lead to practices similar to those used by the US Immigration and Customs Enforcement, otherwise known as ICE. The proposal would allow member states to detect people staying irregularly in the EU and to take all necessary measures to ensure their return. However, critics say this wording is too vague because it could allow intrusive investigative measures, including authorities entering people's homes to enforce deportations. But the European Commission rejects these claims. A spokesperson told the Cube the proposal does not require public services to report irregular migrants, nor does it foresee raids on homes, racial profiling, or invasive surveillance. The Commission says the reform fully respects international law, but critics argue the safeguards are not clearly written into the law.
I was just raising so many questions about how this text itself should be interpreted. So let's imagine some migration officer really having to implement it. What would this mean? Like, would they just have national guidelines? Would these have a very strict interpretation without potential judicial control? It's really unclear. Let's say that for me, these vague references to fundamental rights definitely are not enough.
The reform is not final. The entire European Parliament must vote and member states must agree on the final law.